Welcome to the Messenger of Truth channel. God bless you and protect your life. Subscribe, follow our work and share the truth with others. Attos 23. And Paul, looking steadfastly at the council, said, Men and brethren, I have lived before God in all good conscience until this day. But the high priest, Ananias, commanded those who stood by him to strike him on the mouth. Then Paul said to him, God will smite you, you whitewashed wall. Are you sitting here to judge me according to the law, and against the law, do you command me to be struck? And those who stood by said, Do you revile God's high priest? And Paul said, I did not know, brethren, that it was the high priest, for it is written, Thou shalt not speak evil of the prince of thy people. And when Paul knew that one part were Sadducees and the other Pharisees, he cried out in the council, Men and brethren, I am a Pharisee, the son of a Pharisee. Concerning hope and the resurrection of the dead I am judged. And when he had said this, a dissension arose between the Pharisees and Sadducees, and the assembly was divided. For the Sadducees say that there is no resurrection, neither angel nor spirit, but the Pharisees confess both. And a great clamor arose, and the scribes from the Pharisees arose, and contended, saying We find no evil in this man, and if any spirit or angel hath spoken to him, let us not resist God. And when there was a great dissension, the commanding officer, fearing that Paul would be torn in pieces by them, commanded the soldiers to go down and take him away from them, and bring him into the barracks. And the next night the Lord stood by him and said, Paul, be of good cheer. For as you have testified of me at Jerusalem, so you must also bear witness at Rome. And when it was day, some of the Jews banded together, and bound themselves under an oath, saying that they would neither eat nor drink till they had killed Paul. And there were more than 40 who made this conspiracy. These came to the chief priests and elders, and said, We have bound ourselves under a great oath, that we will taste nothing until we have killed Paul. Now therefore, you with the council, ask the commander to bring him to you tomorrow, as though you would like to know some more of his affairs, and before he comes, we will be ready to kill him. So when Paul's sister's son heard of the ambush, he went and entered the barracks and told Paul. Then Paul called one of the centurions to him and said, Take this young man to the commanding officer, for he has something to tell him. So he took him and brought him to the commander and said, Paul the prisoner called me to him and asked me to bring this young man to you, because he has something to tell you. And the commander took him by the hand, and going aside, asked him privately, What is it that you have to tell me? And he said, The Jews have agreed to ask you to bring Paul down to the council tomorrow, as if you had something more to say about him. But do not believe them, for more than 40 of them are laying in wait for him, who have bound themselves under a curse, that they will neither eat nor drink till they have killed him, and they are ready, waiting for a promise from you. So the commander dismissed the young man, ordering him not to tell anyone that he had told him this. Then, calling 2 centurions, he said to them, Prepare for 3 o'clock at night 200 soldiers, and 70 horsemen, and 200 spearmen, to go to Caesarea. And provide mounts, that they may set Paul thereon, and bring him safe to Felix the governor. And he wrote a letter containing this. Claudius Lysias to Felix, most potent governor, greeting. This man was seized by the Jews, and was about to be killed by them. Desiring to know the cause why they accused him, I brought him before their council. And I found that they accused him of certain matters of their law, but that there was no crime in him worthy of death or imprisonment. And when it was brought to my knowledge that the Jews would lay in wait for him, I sent him immediately to you, and also commanded the accusers to state before you their case against him. Good day. So the soldiers took Paul, as they were commanded, and brought him by night to Antipatris. The next day, leaving the horsemen to go with him, they returned to the barracks. Who, when they came to Caesarea and delivered the letter to the governor, presented Paul to him. And when the governor had read the letter, he inquired what province he was from, and when he knew that he was from Cilicia, said, I will hear thee when thine accusers also come hither. And he commanded him to be kept in Herod's palace.